Okay, so this is actually take 2 of trying to play Maquis or Maquis. It's Maquis, but some people say it wrong. I think Maquis, Maquis, whatever. The first game I played through it, managed to lose the game, and then realised that the microphone hadn't been plugged in, so I've been talking to myself for a good half an hour. So let's try and do that again. Not the messing up, doing the whole thing. So this game, basically, you're trying to complete your 2 missions, and when they've been completed, you win the game. If you fail to complete those missions, or you run out of time, then you lose the game. Each round, you'll look at your morale track. So this is the morale track, and you start on this location, which is the 6, and see there's a little red 3 there. That means that each round, at the moment, 3 patrolmen, also known as milice, will appear. So what will happen is I will place one of my workers from the safe house onto any location, and I'll flip over one of these cards, and it'll detail 3 locations. If the first one is occupied by one of my people or one of the existing baddies, then it goes to the second location, and if that's also full, it'll go to the third location. Then I place my second person, and then they place theirs, and so on. Once all placement is done, each location will be resolved, as long as my workers have a route back to the safe house. Because if there's a guard here and a guard here, my dudes that are here don't have any way to get back to this safe house, and so will be arrested. When they are arrested, they are permanently removed from the game, and you never get them back. So that is obviously very bad, and it's kind of hard to do. Now, I said about the number being in red here is the 3 at the moment. You'll compare the morale number of 3 against the number of workers you have, and use whichever is the higher number. So if I'd got a 4th worker, then I would actually put 4 patrolmen out. So there's a bit of a balancing act there of your morale versus your workers. So if morale's dropping, I can afford to get another worker, but we'll see. My missions, I have coded messages, which basically means I need to have a money, a food, and a gun, and then place a worker here by the end of day 6, and they stay there until the end of day 10. So that means I have to get to the end of day 10 without losing. And my other one is putting graffiti on it. So I have to put a worker on Rubarat, Pont Levique, and Pont du Nord, and the action will be putting graffiti on those locations. And then I have to put a worker on this location once that is all done. You'll notice there's a little shield here, or you may have noticed. There's a few locations that have little shields on, and that means that if your worker is arrested, you're still able to complete the action. Whereas, say, going on the grocer, you couldn't do that. Say, going on the doctor doesn't have a shield, so the person would be arrested and you wouldn't get that reward. So most of the places you can trade a good for an item, like here you can trade money for a gun. The radio stations A and B allow you to either get an intel, which we don't need with these missions, or call in an airdrop. So an airdrop will land on either of these fields, and it can be 1 money, 1 weapon, or 3 food. Correct number of fingers. There's then another action required on the next turn to pick up the airdrop. So it's a bit of a a 2-turn thing to get stuff in the airdrop, but it can be a good way of getting resources quickly and easily. These 3 locations all have, if you spend 2 money, then you can upgrade it to have a building in it. So you can have like a counterfeiter that will give you money every time you go there. You can have a chemist's lab, which you can change medicine for explosives. I won't need that in this game with these missions. There's an informant, which is the same, where you can get intel. I again won't need that. There's a propagandist. So he'll give you morale if you go there, and it is another one where you can be arrested and still gain morale. So that's kind of handy. The smuggler will give you medicine or food. That's pretty handy for the food, because I might be needing that, because you need food to get new workers. I'll need a food to do code messages, and you need food and medicine to increase morale here. You can also make a second safe house, which can be really handy if the routes are getting blocked. So if you put a safe house over here, for example, it might make it a lot easier for people to stay alive in the field and not be arrested. Right. So I think I'm going to try and get some money first off. So I'm going to go to the grocer. Now, it's usually a good idea to kind of spread outwards like this, because then you're less likely to get the bad guys blocking your escape routes. So they're going to appear at Point Levique, because that's the first option. There you go. Let's push that way a bit. So I put my second person down. I'm going to put it on the black market, because my plan is to trade in this food for -1 morale and a money. So if I can get a Radio B, that means I'll have 2 money by the end of the next round, and I can potentially build a better room. So they're appearing at the grocer, which is already taken. So they go to Point du Nerd. Then I put my third person on Radio B. That's cool. That means I'm going to get my thingy, and they can't block me now. And the last guy goes on to the Poor District. So they're kind of shadowing me across the river. So my Radio B guy is going to put money on this field. So that's good. That's fine. That's sorted. My grocer is going to give me a food, and I'm going to use that food here to get an additional money and lose 1 morale. So that was day 1, and now we're moving into day 2. Some of these are highlighted orange. When you hit one of these orange days, that means you lose a morale. So that's not great, but manageable, hopefully. So we'll see. So it's the next day. I've still got 3 workers. Morale is still on red 3, so they're going to be 3 patrolmen added onto the board this round. I can now head straight and get this from the field, but I don't want to do that just yet. What I think I'm going to try and do, because well, maybe not. That might be a bit early to do that. Well, if I play my cards right, I could have someone on this spare room pick up this money and then build a counterfeiter here this round. Okay, I quite like that. So I'm going to go here on the grocer. So that means everything's fine now, because no patrolman can get in my way. So they're appearing on Radio B, but I don't care. This guy's got on the spare room, and they're appearing on Point Levique, which is this one. And then the last guy's going to go, oh, no, keep doing that. This guy is going on the field, so that means I'm going to get my money from here. Then I have 2 money, which I can use in the spare room, and I get myself a food, which I can either use to get another guy at the calf, or maybe that, but I probably don't want to do that again. I will need a food for the coded messages when I try and do that later, but I think that's okay for the moment. It doesn't really matter, but the last guy will appear at Rubarat. There you go. So that's the end of that day. They will go away. My guys safely get back, and I get 1 food here, and then turn in these 2 for the counterfeiters. So I'm going to be able to get money. Because it's day 3, I do lose a morale, which is not great, because it now means that there's going to be 4 patrolmen to my 3 guys. But hopefully we can get around that this round. So I'm going to put a guy in the grocer, which means I can use that to get a guy here, and then I can also get someone for the money without having to worry about it being blocked in. So they're appearing at Radio A. Doesn't really matter, but I'll go to the counterfeiter first. Not the whole board sideways. It's a very small board. They're appearing at the fence. There's a note around these 2. When I try and put a work on them, that it'll have the same escape rules, except that this guy will stay there, so it doesn't really matter too much. I guess at the end of day 10, he needs to have an escape route back. It's quite an important one, because it doesn't have the shield on it, so he might get arrested, and I think that might nullify it. I'm not too sure. We'll see what happens there when we get there. Anyway, this last guy's going to go to the calf, so I can get an extra person. And then there's 2 more added, but it doesn't matter where. So Radio A, Point Levique, and the fence, Point du Nord. There you go. So that's all out. Just shuffling the patrol deck. Right. So I'm going to get 1 money from here. Boom. Money, money, money. I'm going to get food from here, which I'm going to use to get an extra guy from the cafe. Hooray! The resistance movement grows. Vive la resistance. And these guys do nothing because there's no one around. So on to day 4, which is advancing very quickly. So I've only got 2 days, 2 or 3 days to get the required resources for that and get to... What I might do then is kind of rush for that. So if I put a guy on the grocer, that means I'm going to get another food. And they're going to appear... There's going to be 4 of them this round, and I've got 4 people, so that's fine. They're going to appear on the fence. So that means I can't go there. That's fine. I didn't really want to yet, but we'll see. So now... I'm going to put someone on Radio B. Am I? No, I'm going to put them on the black market. I've got the workers. I'm going to be safe. So that means I can... Because if I put them on Radio B, they could go to the black market and block them off. If I put them on black market, they could go on Radio B and block that off, making this kind of pointless. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave them there for the moment. We'll see. Radio A, thank. Whew. So I'm going to Radio B. And they'd appear on the fence. No, Point du Nord. Okay. And then my last guy is going to go on the counterfeiter, so I'm going to get some more monies. So I'll get that money first, just to get that out of the way. I'll get the food from the grocer. Now, I don't want to... I could use it here to get another money and lose a morale. I'm getting fairly low morale at the moment. Don't really want to be messing around with that. I'm just going to move him back here with the other 2 that I should have put there. Took him off board instead. And this Radio B guy is going to airdrop a weapon onto this field. So that's part of the plan. We want to go there. We want to get away. That's good. That's fine. That's part of the plan. So... yeah. And it doesn't matter where the last guy went. So we'll just remove them. So it's day 5. There's going to be 4 guys again. And I'm going to start by going Point Levique, because I want to have a route. I don't even know if I need a route. I don't know how it works. We'll see. So they appear at Point du Nord. And then if I put a guy on the fence, that means that I still have 2 different routes to protect for this guy getting here. They're going to appear at the grocer. Oh, it kind of blocks off that a bit. I think I'm going to risk it, because I need to get a guy on the field to get the gun and a guy on the coded messages. So I'm going to put the guy on the coded messages now. We'll see how this goes. This might be bad, but... So I know I don't need to do it to the next round, but I'm going to do it now because I want to. Let's see where they appear. The Poor District. That means that if the last guy appears in the Doctors or Rue Barat, then he's blocked in and going to be arrested. Which isn't good at all. Well, I can't really do anything about it, so I'm just going to go on the field and hope. Radio B, we got very lucky. Woo! So, first thing I'm going to do is this guy is going to take the gun from the field, which I can then turn all 3 to do this coded messages thing. So he is now there, staying there until the end of day 10. This guy isn't going to do anything. He was just there to stand there. This guy, while he's here, he can add the graffiti on for this other objective. So that's still handy to be there. But it does mean I've still got the 4th worker, but he's going to be technically there, remaining there until the end of day 10. So he's locked out, but he's still a work I have. So that's not great. Which means I've got less stuff I can do the next few rounds. It might have been handy if I'd done this first, really, but I've got that done now, so that's fine. So we're now on day 6, so I lose another morale. Getting pretty low on morale. I mean, the Nazis are occupying, so I'm not surprised they're a bit sad. Well, I want to get to Rubarat because I need to put graffiti on it. I could get another money from the counterfeiter and then maybe put a safe house over here, or propagandist, so that I can increase that morale easier. Well, let's start with... We're going to have to be very careful because I've only got 3 people now, which means I've got less space I can block off. I could, like, beeline for Rubarat. If I put someone Point Levique, then I've got a bit more freedom to choose where I go next. Let's see where they appear. Point Levique, Black Market. They're appearing right over there. So I've still got some freedom, but I don't know which way I want to go. If I do Point du Nord and I go here, they're screwed. If I go Rubarat, they've still got a bit of leeway. But I'll just go to the doctors, so I'll get some medicine. So if I need to, I can do this. Let's see where they appear. Radio B. That's fine. So then I can do my last guy, Rubarat. And I've got that path done, pretty much. So then the other 2 be Radio A. And it doesn't actually matter. I've still got to draw them anyway. It's the sound of shuffling. Endless fun. And they're appearing. It would be the grocer. And it is the grocer, because there's no one there this time. So he's doing nothing. He's getting me some medicine, which might be handy for my morale. And then he's going to graffiti some anti-Nazi, anti-fascist graffiti is what he's doing. So that's that done. So I just need to put it in Point du Nord and then put someone on this officer's mansion. They don't stay there though, so they can be arrested, so that's fine, but I need to keep a watchful eye out for that one. So that's the end of that round. That's fine. I think it did go alright so far. We're now on day 7, so a couple more days to keep you safe up there. Still 4, so getting 4 patrolmen. What I might try to do is do... I think if I do a beeline for Point du Nord this way, then that's handy. I think it's better if I do it this way, because I can go on the grocer, and then if they block off these 2, I can still go to the counterfeiter and not have to worry about it. And I get the food, so I can go to the poor district later if I need to. So they're putting on Radio B. That's fine. We're not really relying too much on the airdrops at the moment, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'm going to go on the black market, not because I plan on using it. I could go on Point du Nord, but I don't want to risk anyone getting arrested. I can still go on the counterfeit if that becomes a cropper. So Point Levique. That's okay. So I think we're going to ignore the counterfeiter then and finish off this graffiti on Point du Nord. Yeah. Because then I can wait till I get my 4th guy back and then try and do the same path after round 10. Just to finish off, because I think I'm going to be okay. We seem to be doing quite well. And the last 2 guys are Radio B. No, it's done. Rubarat. He's looking at the graffiti. And then this guy, Radio A. Cool. And we're going to do some more graffiti on Point du Nord. Get those fascists. Get him come back here for doing nothing. And then get this guy from the grocer with some tasty fruit and veg. Or a baguette, some tomatoes, and a bottle of wine, it looks like. They are French. There we go. So that's all done. And it's day 8. They whizzing by. So we're still on the same morale, 3 morale, 4 patrols going out. Now I've got enough, I've got the food and the medicine, so I could go to the poor district and increase my morale, because it's going to go down again next round. It's getting pretty low now, so it's going to go down to 2. So it's getting near, like, bad times. But I think we might save that, because if we save it till round 10, then we can get some extra stuff done. Then if I go to the grocer, I'll get some more food. I can go to the counterfeiter, and then maybe I can build a propagandist up here, which means I've got a bit more leeway on getting my morale up again. So he's going on the fence, sitting on the fence, and this guy's going on the counterfeiter. What I could do, I guess, is I could get a 5th guy. That might help me out, because I mean it will mean that there's more patrols going out, but I don't actually need. With the tactics I'm using of blocking off the areas and the routes, I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. But that's fine anyway. So we're putting down our 2nd patrolman. He's going to Radio A, and I've got my 3rd dude. I don't really have anywhere for him to go. There's nothing he can really do that's useful or handy. I could put him just here to risk it, because then if the other 2 guys, there'd be 2 chances of them getting on the black market and blocking off that route. And I don't really know if that's worth it. I don't lose any morale, but it would mean I'm down to 2 workers, which might make it a bit tricky to do anything. I'll just put them on here. I'll put them on the calf, because then I'll get the extra worker with this, because I'm going to get another food this round anyway, and I'll beef up my numbers a bit. Let's go for it. Let's risk it. And then again, it doesn't really matter on these 2, but he's appearing on Point du Nord, and he's appearing on Point de Vic. Cool. So he's going to get a food that is then going to be turned in for an extra worker here, and then he's going to get me a money. So I can now work on getting that extra morale by building propagandist here. And maybe just, like, if I go to the poor district. So we could probably steamroll through here to the officer's mansion now. Yeah. So on day 9, so this goes down to 2. So it's got a red 4 there, so I'm still putting 4 patrols out, but because I've got all 5 workers now, all 5 resistance fighters, it means that there's actually going to be 5 patrols going out. So, which way do we want to go? Well, we want to go this way, because if we can get the poor district locked down, then that means that we can give in these 2 for extra morale as well. But I think the first place I'm going to go is Point du Nord, because this is the fulcrum. Like, if this is taken, none of them can get there. So let's see where they would have gone. They go on the grocer. So that's both good and bad, because I mean, it's good that he's over here, so I'm definitely going on these 2. But if any one goes on either of these 2, I'm now screwed. Hi. Yeah. There you go. So I'm going to go on the poor district. So this needs to be shuffled. And then going to appear on radio A. So that's fine, that's good. It means I can go on Point de Vic. They're appearing on radio B, but we don't care. And he's going to go here to complete that. And then they're going on the fence. And that's blocked on the doctors. That's fine. So he's not going to do anything there, he's just going to go home. He's going to turn in these 2 for the morale bump, because we want to gain some morale. That's good. Show everyone up with some food and medicine. He's not doing anything there, and he's completing, showing that local commander what we're made of. Great stuff. So it's now day 10, which I think means that I need to have a path for this guy to get back. That makes sense. So I'm going to go here. I'm not going to going to worry. So what we could do is go here and build a safe house. Assuming he's going to go in this way. I think it might be worth seeing which way they go. So they're going on the grocer. That's fine. I want to go on the fence because we need to have that route open for them. And they're going on the poor district. Now we're at risk because we need both these places not to be taken. I'll go on Rue Brat and hope that the doctor doesn't come out. Black Market. Whew. And then he's going on the doctor. And they go Radio A and Radio B. Cool, that's fine. So then he can come all the way back, he can come back, he can come back. And I've completed all my missions. And I'm victorious. Huzzah. Huzzah. So that's one. I won that game. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And goodbye for now.